What's up, fools? It's your girl Kia here, and I am back with more of the Healing Cipher. I want to first start off by saying I'm sorry I took so long and I've been away for, I don't know, what is it, like 2.5 months now? I do apologize, but I am back and we are all the way in full effect and ready to go. So, I was in the book of John the other day, chapter 4, verse 46 through 48 to be exact. And they were talking about how the nobleman had heard about all the things Jesus was doing in regards to healing people. At the time, the nobleman's son was sick, so he went to Jesus, begging him, pleading with him for him to heal his son. Now, Jesus complied and he healed his son. However, he did comment and say, unless you people see signs and wonders, you will by no means believe. And that kind of struck a chord with me. So, this got me thinking, what if Jesus told him no? I mean, just no. Like, nah, son, you good. Would the nobleman still believe in Jesus as the Messiah, as the Son of God? Would this somehow diminish who Jesus was as the Son of God? Would he think that he was a liar if he didn't fulfill that for him? So now I know all y'all are thinking, all valid questions, but where are you going with this, sis? Glad you asked. I want to pose a question. What if you went to God and asked him for something? Prayed all day, all night for him to do whatever. And his answer to you was no. What would you do? How would you feel? What would you think? Many of us are like the nobleman, running to God, begging and pleading for him to take us out of that uncomfortable and undesirable situation. Maybe it's a sick family member. Maybe it's a promotion. Maybe you've been asking him to restore your marriage. Maybe someone that is very close to you is on drugs and you've been asking God to get them out of the street and to get them clean. You've probably been thinking, our God is such a gracious God. How can he not comply with my request? All of these things you've been praying to God for, and you haven't heard anything from him on this matter. He hasn't fixed the situation. He hasn't changed anything. Things are still going the way that they're going. Where is he? Our God is a gracious God, right? He can comply with that request. He doesn't want to see my cousin off of drugs. He doesn't want to see my marriage restored. He doesn't want to see my bank account look better and in a better financial situation. I mean, God does love me, right? He would want that for me, right? I know a lot of you are probably extremely frustrated and in agony and pain right now, trying to understand, why won't God take this thing away from me? You're probably thinking, I've been praying, reading my Bible, being obedient. The least he can do is to give my mother a clean bill of health, or get my son, get my brother off of the street and stop drinking so much. God, I've seen you do it for so many other people. Why won't you do it for me? Listen, I'm not about to sit up here and give you that famous line of, God won't give you more than you can bear. I'm not finna do that. Because when I was in my mess, when I was stuck in the things that I was doing, that was of no comfort to me. And to be quite honest, I wanted to haul off and smack the person saying it, because I'm like, are you serious? Do you know what I'm feeling inside right now? Do you know what I'm dealing with on a daily basis? This does not feel good, and Jesus is not responding to me. He's not listening to me. That saying doesn't feel good when you're dealing with that failed relationship, when your home is being foreclosed, or when you lost that loved one. It doesn't feel good. But what I will say, and what I do want to do, is show you a couple of ways that God has revealed himself to me in his love through the answer no. The things that I'm about to tell you, the ways that I've dealt with, the answer being no from God, these were no easy conclusions to come to. And they were even harder to maintain during those rough times. But my hope and my prayer is that these things will at least be of a comfort and at least, help you in some way, shape, or form. Number one, stop praying away and start praying through. When I first read Mark Batterson's book, Draw the Circle, the 40-Day Prayer Challenge, my life was forever changed. I had my first encounter with the Holy Spirit reading chapter 4 of this book entitled, Don't Pray Away. As I read through this book and how he talked about how we encounter these uncomfortable situations in our lives, and then we go to God to start to pray away all of these different things, tears started to flow through my eyes, and I realized I was having an encounter with the Holy Spirit. Like he was gripping me about some things that I needed to recognize in my own life about the things that I had been praying away all these years. So we always ask God to take away the cancer. God, take the family member off of drugs. God, don't let my house get foreclosed. foreclosed. God, do this, do that, do da 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 da, all day, every day. It's always prayer this, but we never stop to ask God or to pray to God about how we need to get through these things. It's always God, take it away. God, do this, God, do that. We always want to pray stuff away. And God's like, you're not listening to me. I need you to pray yourself through this thing, because there's something down in the inside of you that I'm trying to pull out of you. But because you're so focused on praying it away, you're not even looking or listening to what I'm saying. So a lot of them times when we think God's not speaking or he's not saying nothing, it's because we're not hearing what we want to hear. So we're not hearing it, right? Because we're too busy praying it away. God, my mom is on drugs. I am living in what feels like hell. Take this away. And God's like, I'm trying to foster and work on some things in the inside of you to bring you through this thing. God wasn't interested in changing the situation. He's not interested in changing your situation. Now, I'm not saying that for all situations. He's interested in changing you through that situation. So you gotta be able to keep those ears open and those eyes open, looking around you, seeing what's going on, so Jesus can give you further instruction through that situation. Now, this does not mean that you stop praying for the things that you want. That doesn't mean you stop praying for the cancer to go away. That doesn't mean you start tapping into the Holy Spirit to intercede on some things, to make some things stop. That's not what that means. Keep praying for those things, but rather alter your prayers so that you have a better understanding of what you need to pray for, right? So sometimes if God's not answering you, if you feel like you're not hearing from God or he's not doing something, you may want to think about altering what you're praying about and asking God to help you through that situation so that you can have a better understanding of what it is that you need to do. You're going to have to get very specific with God. God, what are you trying to teach me? What lessons do I need to learn? What areas of your life is God concerned with cultivating down on the inside of you? You're going to have to start asking these questions. Start asking for wisdom. Start asking him for strength. Start asking him for understanding. Start asking him for discernment so that you will better to be able to deal with that situation. So this brings me to my next point, number 2, which is trusting God. I know y'all like, sis, I felt like you was about to say something really profound, like you had the answer to the question. Like, no, I don't have the answers. Again, you guys, this is just the ways that I navigate through the answer no. But in all seriousness, like a lot of us have our blinders on when it comes to the situations in our eyes. Only God sees the bigger scale of things. Only he sees the bigger pictures of things. We can only see what's right in front of us, right? So we have to be able to trust God that he's on the sidelines orchestrating everything going around us. And he is. Sometimes we get so distracted. My dad has Alzheimer's and he doesn't have much time left to live. He doesn't recognize me. He doesn't know who I am. You're hurting. All you see is that situation. Your home is being foreclosed. That's all you see. You want a new position at work, but you didn't get the position because they gave it to somebody else that you trained. These are the situations that we see. But God is on the sidelines orchestrating those things, working on your behalf. You have to trust and you have to believe that he is doing that for you. And it is not an easy task. Again, like I said, none of this stuff is easy, but you have to at least try. But you have to trust God, because what you don't know is in the middle of all of that mess, God is in the middle of it all, and he is molding you. He is cultivating you so that when you come out on the other side of this thing, and you are going to come out of the other side of this thing, you are going to come out rising like the phoenix out of the fire, refined, stronger, a better human being. He is going to take that thing and he is going to make it the thing that makes you stronger. He is going to make you a living, walking, talking testimony of his glory. Jesus Christ. Now, on to my next point. Sometimes no just means not right now. So it's not necessarily a no. It's a wait a minute, hold up. But the thing about this, it's going to require you to do something you do not want to do, which is wait. I have zero patience. I remember working at TD Bank a couple years ago, and I hated it. Period. I couldn't stand that job. Oh my goodness, thinking about it it's giving me trauma. I'm having flashbacks. It was literally one of the worst jobs I ever had. And I just remember praying to God, give me a new job, Jesus. Get me up out of it. I got to go, God. Like, this was just not working. I never spent so much time on Indeed in my life. I filled out so many quick applies. Honey, listen. Y'all don't understand. You ever just sit in your car before you go on to work and you just talking your junk? Like, you just like, I should have called out. I don't even know why I came up in here. Maybe I should start stripping. They make pretty good money. I swear to God. God, you look at me crazy today. I'm just gonna fall off and smack. Jesus, good. Jesus, job. I hate this job. I pray to God every day that he will release me from this job. And you know what this man had the nerve to tell me? Bro was like, be still. I was like, what? I'm sorry, I'm gonna see. You said it kind of low. Can you speak up? Be still. I was really confused because I thought Jesus didn't understand that I was like stressed out. Like, you want me to be stressed out? Like, I don't get it. Like, what is the problem here? Like, I wanted out of this job so bad. I really thought about even applying to McDonald's, but I was like, nah, I can't do that. That's dumb. I'm like 28 years old working at McDonald's. That's not a good look. So I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm gonna rock this out. I'm gonna be still. I'm gonna do what God asked me to do, and I'm gonna just do that. So long story short, I stopped applying for other jobs. I stayed at that job. I kept praying, and what I realized through that situation, through prayer, I had to find an outlet to find peace while I was at this job. And while I always prayed, I began to pray, I began to meditate and pray. Like, I would just find this stillness in this quiet place and, kind of pray to God. And it was helping me out so much. Like, it began to really help my mental health out. I was in a situation that was horrible. I hated this job, but because I was praying and meditating and finding this place with God through this situation, I was finding peace. And I was like, yo, this is mad crazy. So this job was driving me crazy, but God was really working on my prayer life. He was working on me, drawing me closer to him through that situation. Who would have ever thought? And literally not long after God was able to cultivate that thing in me, I found a new job. I found a better job. I found a job that was less stressful. I found a job that I could leave at 4 o'clock and not have to worry about it. Like, sometimes we leave work and we're like, this job, I ain't going tomorrow. I'm calling out because they tripping. Like, you just get crazy because the job is stressing you out. It had better benefits. It had better people. I was in a better position to, move up potentially if I wanted to. The job was a whole lot better, and I'm still there, and I'm thankful for a job. Moving on to number 4. There's something behind that no that is setting you up for an even bigger yes. Something that you yourself could have never imagined. Check out this picture. We've all seen it before. We've seen it on our Instagram, sliding down, scrolling through. We've seen it all. But that's really what's happening in your life right now. That thing that God may be telling you no about, it may hurt at the moment and you feel like you can't go on, and you feel like, you're not going to be able to live without that person, or you're not going to be able to get off those drugs, or, how am I going to, where will I live, God? My home is being foreclosed. I have no family around. Where am I going to go stay? I'm going to have to live in a hotel. That thing, God is setting you up for a bigger yes. But only if you let him, only if you allow him. I remember when I lost my grandfather, I couldn't see anything outside of the life that I shared with him. I asked, I begged, I pleaded with God to not take his life, God. Like, I didn't know any life without him, right? I prayed to God, but my prayers went unanswered, or so I thought. At that time, I didn't know, but God knew it was time for me to walk and to grow into a new season of my life. But in my eyes, I felt like there was no life without him. But God was like, nah. There is. God sees the bigger picture. So I didn't see God, I didn't see the bigger picture that God was trying to tell me, or God was trying to show me. I didn't know that 5 years after his passing that I would be where I am now. After having gone through all of the things that transpired after his death, after, drinking all the time, after, taking pills, after trying to cover and mask all of this hurt, I would be here standing in front of you all, making this video, having my own YouTube channel, going back to school, to finish my degree, developing better relationships with my friends and family, healthier relationships, having a closer relationship with God, meeting the love of my life and in plans to be married. You couldn't have told me this a couple of years ago. You couldn't have told me this when he died, that I would be where I am. But God was setting me up for a bigger yes. He was setting me up and fostering me to get ready to grow and mature outside of the life that I shared with him. I love and I miss him to death. And listen, I cry some days. It'll be 5 years on July 16th. I miss that person. But I also love where I am now. I'm much more at peace with my life and in my mind. I used to be a person who suffered from anxiety and depression, and I can literally sit here today and say I have control over this because I gave him the control over this. So that's what I have to say to you. I would say to you, will you say yes to God so that he can give you a bigger yes? Will you accept the no? Think about this. In the Garden of Gethsemane, and I can never say that correctly, okay? Mind your business. But in the Garden of Gethsemane, in Matthew, Jesus was on the brink of being executed. They were coming to kill him. In that garden, he prayed 3 times to God to take this cup from him. God, if there is another way for this to happen, let it happen that way. But there was no other way. The answer was no. He had to die. And he had to die for you. He had to die for me. He had to die for our lives so that we can be saved, so that the world can be saved. There was a purpose behind what was about to happen. He knew it. Jesus knew it. God knew it. But the difference with us is we don't know. All we see is the things in front of us. But if you are able to trust God, if you are able to learn how to pray through instead of praying away, if you are able to sometimes see that this no just means not a right now, if you are able to understand and to see, or at least try to understand and see that there's a bigger yes behind that no may become a little easier for you. And that's what this video is for. This video is for the people where God may be telling you no right now. I hope that this provides you some sort of comfort. I know that it is not easy, and I'm not going to sit up here and I'm not trying to sit up here and say that God won't give you more than you can bear, because sometimes it doesn't feel like that. You feel like you're going through hell. But I hope that this helps. Listen, y'all, if y'all can do that, you'll be all right. I hope that this helps you all. I pray that this video reaches all the people in the no stage right now. I will see you guys back here again. Look for more content on the Healing Cipher coming up. Please follow, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what we can possibly do better in the future. I'm not an expert. I'm just giving you my life's advice, what I've been through, my own experiences, and the things that have helped me. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. It's your girl.